The table below shows the rate charged for the use of water in a country. So they go by number of units. The first 30 units will be charged at 97 cents per unit, and then the next 30 units will be 1 and 12 per unit, and then the next 60 units after this will be $2 per unit. Why do you think the price keep on increasing? So the price keep on increasing because they want to encourage people to save water. So they want to encourage people to use less water, and therefore the first 30 units will always be the cheapest, followed by more expensive and more expensive. Now, part A, they said that Mr. Tan and the family used 30 units in January. How much did they pay for the usage of water in January? So since it's only 30 units, right, so it will be 30 units multiplied by 97 cents. So the first part is actually quite simple. So over here will just be 30 multiplied by 0.97. Okay, and what will that give us? So if you use a calculator, that will just give us $29.10. Okay, now for students who actually want to use the manual part, if like for some reasons you see a decimal questions that you're unable to use the calculator and you want to use the manual portion, I'm going to teach you this method. Normally students will start doing stuff like this, 0.97 multiplied by 30. Let me teach you a method to make it a lot easier. 0.97 multiplied by 30, isn't it multiplied by 3 then multiplied by 10? Okay, since you multiply by 3 then multiply by 10, I multiply 0.97 by 10 first, and that will give me 9.7. Now 9.7 times 3. So at this point of time, students, right, still they find it a little bit difficult to do this. 3 times 9.7. Why? Is because they do not know where to put the they do not know where to put a decimal point in the answer. So let me teach you this method. Instead of writing 9.7 times 3, right, you take the entire thing, you multiply by 10. Okay, you multiply by 10 now. So instead of 3 times 9.7, you are actually doing 3 times 97. Because this 10 goes over to this decimal. Okay, so now here, right, it will be a lot easier. So just 3 times 7 will be 21, so 1, 2. 3 times 9 will be 27, 27 plus 2 will be 29. So you actually be getting 29.1. Since previously you multiplied by 10, right now you must divide this one by 10. So if you divide this one by 10, it will just be 29.1. Okay, it is a lot simpler and a lot easier compared to if you have to do this kind of working, right, where you have a decimal point here and there, and then there's a decimal point here and there. It's likely that you'll make mistake. So prevent yourself from making a mistake by changing all the decimal number to whole number first, by multiplying either 10 or 100. Okay, then once you get the answer, you divide it by the same number that you multiply it by. Okay, this will be a lot faster. Now, moving on to the next portion, they said that Mrs. Sahin and her family paid $162.70 for the usage of water in February. How many units of water did they use in February? Now, instead of telling us how many units they used, they're actually telling us how much money they spent. For this one, will be quite simple. First of all, we need to figure out the first 30 units how much. Okay, we should already figure out over here. Second one, you want to figure out for the next 30 units how much. Okay, then this one, right, then I'll teach you how to do this one. We have to figure out this one first. So we take 30 multiplied by 1.12. Okay, using the method that I used over here to actually multiply it properly, right? But just to save time, I'm going to use the calculator. So 30 multiplied by 1.12, and then that will give me $33.60. Now the entire thing over here, 162.70, will include this portion and include this portion. Okay, and another portion under here. So I'm going to take 162.7 minus this. Okay, so 162.7 minus $29.10 minus $33.60. Okay, I'm going to use the calculator. You can do the manual working just like what I taught you all previously. So 162.7 minus 29.1 minus 33.6, and that will give me $100. Out of this $100, how many units did they spend altogether? How many units did they use altogether? Since one unit is $2 and the person spent $100 on these 60 units, right? Okay, so I'm going to take $100 divided by these $2. Okay, if you throw this in your calculator, you're going to get 50 units. Okay, so which means that Mrs. Sahin and her family used 30 units, and 50 units. So total will be 30 plus 30 plus 50, and that will give us 110 units altogether. So this one is like working backwards. Alright, so remember this portion, I feel that the entire question, right, this one is the most important one. To teach you how to multiply or divide by decimal. Okay, by changing the decimal to a whole number first, then converting your whole number back to decimal. It's a lot easier for a lot of students. Alright, done.